look of your heavy-duty front bumper or need the extra insurance for your tougher trail ride, this Barricade 9,500-pound winch with the synthetic rope and a wireless control is a solid option for whatever year and model Bronco that you have. Now, this is a great choice for the Bronco owner hitting the trail 24/7 or only once in a while and want some peace of mind that you can get yourself out or one of your buddies out of trouble whenever you need to. Now, the rule of thumb when choosing a pulling capacity is matching 1.5 times the gross weight of your loaded Bronco, so keep that in mind when you're checking this out. However, if you fit into that category with a lighter to moderately loaded rig and want a straightforward and more affordable choice that still incorporates some nice bells and whistles like the synthetic line and wireless remote, then this is a solid choice to consider. This winch features a 5.5 horsepower 12-volt series wound motor, pulling at roughly 6.5 feet per minute at full capacity, being pretty impressive for a 9,500-pound winch. Now, that being said, used properly, this is able to help in a variety of different recovery scenarios and can be safely done at a distance thanks to the included remote control with a 12-foot lead as well as the wireless remote that's included in the kit. This also includes a 94-foot bright orange synthetic rope, which is very easy to handle. It's a little safer than steel cable, and it may require a little bit more maintenance compared to a steel cable, but this isn't going to rust on you or get kinked on you, whether you use it all the time or just when you need it. Now, this has a very tough build with a full steel construction, and the outer portion of the winch here does have a sleek powder coat finish to protect the material underneath from any rusting or corrosion over time and just to finish the appearance of the winch. On the inside, this has a 3-stage planetary gear, and to get specific, this has a 195 to 4:1 gear ratio, which offers a good amount of power for the pulling capacity and doesn't sacrifice much speed of the line in the meantime. Now, all the leads also have a rubber cover to protect the connections, and this comes with everything that you need to install it and use it, like the included steel hook, billet aluminum fair lead, and the necessary hardware to get the job done. Now, this is about $500 and will be one of the most affordable choices on the page, being a great entry-level style option. Now, it has a solid load capacity, which is great for most situations, a good winch speed for the capacity that it has, a durable build that will hold up against the elements, and it has all the necessities without any super flashy options that may bump up the price point if you do want a winch that's easy to operate and straight to the point. Now, it also incorporates some upgraded features that some of the super basic choices won't bring to the table, like that wireless remote and the synthetic line, which offers some convenience and additional safety, making it all around a great pick. Now, install is easy and doesn't require much besides some assembly, hooking the wires up and bolting this to your bumper. Now, the install will vary depending on your setup, but this has a standard 10 by 4.5 inch bolt pattern, being compatible with mostly all universal winch plates. Now, regardless, the setup is simple at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking about a half hour to bolt up. Now, I do want to mention that this does require a battery with a minimum of 650 cold cranking amps in order to operate, so just make sure that you double check that before getting into your install. However, at this point, I am going to hand it over to one of our installers here. They're going to show you how to get this hooked up and bolt it up to your Bronco. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get to the install.
For this install, you will need an impact, various ratchets, an extension, 10, 13, 16, and 18 millimeter sockets, a pair of angle cutters, a clip removal tool, Phillips head screwdriver, and a 19 millimeter wrench. Today we're going to be installing the winch on our Bronco, so let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to need to remove our grill assembly to allow room for our wiring, because we're going to need to come up into the engine bay to our battery. So we're going to take this upper shroud off, and then we'll work our way down and remove our grill assembly. Your shroud is held in by these push clips. Those are actually Phillips head centers, so you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver to get the centerpiece out. Then we'll grab our clip removal tool and pop these out. We'll get our Phillips head center out. Now, sometimes these are a pain. They don't want to actually spin. You want to apply as little pressure as possible, at least to get the heads of these up. Once you get some room, you can grab your clip removal tool, pop these up, and remove your clip. So we'll do the same thing for all of our retainer clips. Sometimes you'll need to hold the outer ring while getting your center screw out as well. And we'll get in and pop this out. And again, repeat that process for all of your clips. Now once you have all your clips out, you can remove your upper shroud. Just pop this out. Sometimes this does come out. Just pop that right back in. Now once you have your shroud out, if you have a forward-facing camera and the small washer, you'll need to unplug those. They're on the passenger side of your grill. We'll come over here, unplug these. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. Now for this one, you just need to squeeze this oval tab. Unplug that. You want to tuck this back a little bit so you don't have your washer fluid coming out. Now we're going to remove the 4 10mm screws holding the upper portion of our grill in place. We got our 10mm socket, and we'll pop these out. And once you have your 4 screws out, you pull your grill back. All right, so now it's time to wire up our winch. We're going to start by installing our control box and our wiring to the top of our winch. It's just going to hook onto these top 2 bars. Now we're not going to secure this down fully just yet. We want to make sure everything's wired first. Now everything is color coded for you. Your longer red and longer black cables are going to go to your battery itself. The shorter black cable is going to come directly over here to your closest black lug. That's going to be F2. We'll take the nut off of that. We'll get our terminal on. Now you want to make sure these are not in a position where they're crimped or anything like that. Set this on. Our nut back in place. And we're going to tighten that down with our 13mm socket on our ratchet. Once you have that tightened down, you can bring your lug cover over. Sometimes these are a little bit of a pain to get over it. Put that over there. Next, we're going to install our black wire with our yellow cap. It's going to go right to the yellow stud. It's going to be your F1 stud. And then tighten that one down. Put the cap over. Now our smaller ground as well as our battery ground is going to go to your B terminal right here. We'll get this one on first. Battery ground on. And tighten that down. And lastly, your shorter positive is going to go to this red terminal. Now that we have it wired, we've got our winch flipped up and we're gonna install our retainer screws for our control box. They are provided Phillips head screws with lock washers and flat washers. Get these in. Tighten these down with our Phillips head screwdriver. Next, we're going to install our mounting nuts into the base of our winch. They have these openings. We're going to get our square nuts. Just slide those into place. And we'll do that for all 4 mounting holes. Now we can set our winch in place. Next, we need to send our positive and negative battery wires up through behind our grill into our engine bay so we can connect this to our battery. Now there is a gap down behind here to send it up through. Removing the grill just makes it easier to see that. What we're gonna do, tuck this through. You need to pass through up into this area. Up through here. Through the opening. And we'll do the same thing for our negative wire. So now we're going to wire up our positive and negative cables. We've got our terminal cover up on our positive side. We're going to grab our 10 mil socket, remove one of our lug nuts. Get our positive terminal on. Reinstall that nut. Snug that back down. And if you want to have this cover closed fully, you can notch out the cover for demonstration purposes. We're not going to do that. Just lay this over here. Then we'll connect our negative wire. Now we can reinstall our grill, so we'll get this back in place. Give your ends a little push to snap those back in. Now we can reconnect our washer and our forward-facing camera. Plug these right back in. And we'll come back and reinstall our 4 10mm screws. Next, we can reinstall our upper shroud. Pull up on this air ram. Then tucked back into place. It's lined up. Then we'll reinstall our plastic push clips. And when reinstalling these particular clips with the Phillips head screws, a lot of times they'll just push back into place. Sometimes you will need to thread them back in. And you want to do the same thing for all of your clips. Now we're underneath our bumper and we're going to get our winch bolted down. Now you may need to shift this around and line it up with whatever mounting holes you have. My recommendation is to line one up first, then you can pivot off of that. We've got our provided bolt with lock washer and flat washer. We got our first bolt in. You do want to be careful running these through. You don't want to push your square nuts out of their retainers. Once you get that one in, you want to run it in hand tight. And we'll do the same thing for the rest of our hardware and come back and tighten it down. Now we can tighten down our hardware using our 16mm socket and extension on our impact. Now we're going to get our cable through our opening and we'll get our cable guide in place. So what you want to do is put your winch into free spool mode. So we're going to turn this lever all the way down. Cut our retainer zip tie. Some angle cutters. Get that out of the way. Bring our cable through. Now we can pull our cable freely. We're going to get our guide into place. And to mount this, we're gonna grab our 2 provided bolts with flat washers. Just through the front. And on the back side of that, we'll add our lock washers and nuts. Okay. Now we're going to tighten these down with our 18mm socket on a ratchet and our 19mm wrench for our nut. Now we can install our hook to our cable. So we'll send this through, get our pin through, and install our provided cotter pin. Once you got that installed, you can install your grab hook, grab cord. Pull this back up. So your winch has a couple of ways of operating. We did show you the free spool mode, but if you wish to control this by your controller, you want to go to the engage mode, meaning flip your switch back up, and then to plug your manual controller in, you want to open up this cover on the top, line this up correctly. It is doweled. Lock that in, and you can control your winch in and out with that. And then when you're done, unplug it, reinstall your cover, and you're good to go. So your winch also comes with a wireless remote option. Now if you want to control this wirelessly, it transmits all internally. You do not need to plug in an external dongle or anything like that. Your controller has an on-off switch. To use it, just switch it to on. You can control this in or out. Then when you're done using it, to save battery or prevent any accidental use, switch it back to off. Alrighty, that about wraps up our review and install of our Barricade 9,500-pound winch with synthetic rope and wireless control. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.